This is episode 7 of Post Production Podcast. Hello and welcome all you amazing people out there to Post Production Podcast. Thank you for joining us as we talk about the latest in movies, TVs, and gaming news. I'm your host, Mr. Drew, and of course with me today, always, is Adam.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How are we doing today?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm good. Long night, but we got some fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah. We got Justice League.
We got Justice League to talk about. Just Justice League.
Yeah.
Just only Justice League. So we're going to start out with our initial impressions with Justice League, and then we'll get into spoilers and timestamp everything for you guys. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit of some fun and some rants. We're definitely going to rant.
Absolutely. This is going to be a long one.
There will be ranting.
Yeah.
A little ranting. Some ranting. Okay, go ahead.
So let's talk some box office real quick. Let's talk some numbers.
Okay, yeah, let's talk numbers.
Okay.
We paid, what did we pay? $750?
Like $750.
$750.
It was great.
Best cheapest money ever spent.
You know what, though? That's the most I will ever pay for this movie.
I'm so happy that we only contributed collectively $15. So.
Well, it made a little more than $15 this weekend, Justice League, but it wasn't too much more.
It wasn't too much more than 15. Just count your pennies.
So, as we know, Justice League, has had so many, behind the scenes kind of stories, whether it's, Zack Snyder leaving, due to, a family tragedy, Joss Whedon coming in to finish the reshoots, and the reshoots costing a significant amount of money because of the rewriting that was also taking place.
Right.
So with all of that, people were very curious of, how things were going to play out. So with reshoots and, Henry Cavill's mustache, all of that craziness, the budget is estimated around $300 million, which is ridiculous for a movie. It's rough.
Oof.
It's up there.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so a ridiculous budget, $300 million estimated. And what did our $15 contribute to on opening weekend?
So opening weekend got a total of $96 million, when it was tracking for around 100, anywhere from 110 to 130 or something like that.
That's only what, 20 off? 20 million off? That's not bad. They're a third of the way of making their money back.
Yeah, but it's so important to have a good opening because it's just gonna dip. As we know with Batman versus Superman, I think Batman versus Superman made like 150, something like that. It was a really good opening weekend, but because of the reception and how bad that movie is, it went down like significantly.
Yeah, like a Japanese Zero kamikaze bomber just. And then he goes up, and then he's like, "No, I'm not done yet. Yeah, back down."
But
splash.
Splash. I can't say I'm surprised that it made this kind of money. And especially after seeing it, I'm definitely not.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'm not surprised. I mean, it's.
I mean, this is what you get.
It's a comic book. It's a comic book, movie.
Well, also,
and it's a DC movie. There's DC fans out there.
Well, there are, and 96 million isn't. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's also not as much money as they needed. It's the worst opening for any DC EU movie.
Yeah,
it's the 5th movie to come out in this universe. It's the worst movie. Also, well, okay, it did the worst at the box office.
Yeah.
Now, I want to get your general thoughts. Coming out of this movie, what did you think?
So, okay, I have to look at this two ways. Okay. So the first way I'm going to look at it is if I'm just, before we started this podcast, before we started talking critical, movie reviews and things like that. If I'm just a moviegoer, for me, even some things that had bad reviews, I'd look at Rotten Tomatoes or I'd look at some other sites, I'd look at these reviews and they just tore a movie apart. if there's something in the movie I want to see, if there's a character or something, I'll go see it.
Yeah.
So for me, if I look at it in that mindset, it was an entertaining movie. Now the early reviews definitely, would have. I mean, we pre-bought our tickets. We knew that we wanted to go at a certain time and whatever. But if I was by myself and I was kind of looking at opening weekends and I was going, okay, hey, cool, Justice League's coming out. I want to see this. I don't care what the reviews are like. And then I see those early postings of the reviews and I'd be like, that would definitely steer me to a matinee.
Yeah.
To, okay, you know what? I want to see it. I don't want to wait to rent it, or I don't want to wait to buy it or watch it in some other venue. I definitely want to see it as soon as possible, but I'm not going to pay full price. If the reviews are that bad, I'd love to see it. I'd love it to see if it entertains me, but I'm not going to pay full price. And I think that's where we see those opening numbers where people are like, yeah, man, opening night? Hell no.
Yeah,
Stand in line? Hell no.
Yeah, I might see it.
Sunday morning? Sure. For me, I was entertained. It was an entertaining movie. It was fun to watch. If I was to turn my brain off and be entertained, it would entertain me.
Yeah.
And we talked about this a little bit. I've seen Armageddon, I don't know how many times, and yeah, I could rip that movie to shreds on all the unrealistic things about it, but it's an entertaining movie. Yeah. I can plop it in and go, yeah, man, I'm going to watch Armageddon because it's entertaining. It's just a fun movie to watch, and I think this is a fun movie to watch.
Yeah.
Now, beyond that, yes, it was an entertaining movie. I had a lot of issues with it. There's no way I could turn my brain off during this movie. It was, there's some problems with it. There's some character problems with it. There's some CGI problems with it. There's massive plot problems with the movie. I think DC fans are going to enjoy it. We get the introduction of Cyborg. We get the introduction. The Flash is out. It has been out. Netflix has a great series. I'm sorry. It's the CW has
it's on Netflix.
I watch it on Netflix. But the CW has a great Flash series.
Yeah, a lot of people like that,
and I love it. Yeah. I think it's a great series. We have the introduction of Ezra Miller as the Flash, and I know a lot of people talked him up, and I was kind of like, my initial reactions from the trailer, like, I don't know if I can get into this guy. He was amazing. He was a great support character. He was that comic relief that floated the movie. We got the introduction of Aquaman. Cool, awesome. And then Ben Affleck is back as Batman. Say that 5 times fast. I can't even do it. And then we have, of course, Gal Gadot coming in as the wondrous Wonder Woman, and we have a villain.
Yep, that's all you can really.
And that's it.
That's all there is.
Yeah. It's entertaining. It's fun. It's action packed. It's got some comedy in it. It's got some great scenes in it. It's a good team superhero movie.
True.
I'll say that. I think kids are going to enjoy it. I think kids are going to, they're going to have fun with it. Other than that, not going into spoilers and then all the little nitpicking. Yeah. What about you?
You know what? Going into this movie, I heard that the story was lacking, but the characters were great. And so I went into this movie, saying, I know this movie's not going to be very good, but I'm going to enjoy it for what it is.
Right.
And I can honestly say that I actually had a good time. And I was very surprised by that. I actually had a good time. All the stupid plot details, all of the plot holes, all of the, the dumb villain and, whatever. All of that aside, I actually really like this movie. Mm-hmm. And I think it is the Flash and it is Aquaman that really, made that happen for me.
Right. Do you think it's the possible potential promise of, okay, you gave us this tease of these characters. Hopefully you'll show us some more, which is a little bit of the entertainment value of that.
And I like the interplay between people.
Right.
I think I could watch a full Aquaman movie. I could watch a full Flash movie. I don't know if I could watch a full Cyborg movie. I think he's a great supporting character, and I think he does well with others. After watching Ben Affleck in this movie, I decided I don't need him in a solo Batman movie. I kind of just want him out at this point, and we'll kind of get into that in a little bit. But of course, Wonder Woman is great. Obviously, overall, like everything was. There was a lot of problems, but I had fun in the end. And
Yeah,
I don't know if I could really recommend it to people, because I would kind of put that caveat at the end saying, don't expect much out of this.
right.
If you want to have a good time, yeah, go see it.
Yeah.
Why not?
I ran into that this morning before we left work. Another individual was talking to our boss about the movie, and he was on the same boat with us, just kind of really drilling into it. And I said, hey, look, it's a great entertaining movie to just unplug and sit down and have fun with.
Yeah.
If you turn your brain on and you start looking at all the details, you're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
or if you have the ability to push that aside, because I found myself saying, "Oh my god, I don't like this at all. Like, this is dumb." I caught myself doing that, and then I was just like, just put it to the side. Let's just see where this goes.
yeah, I lost count of the oh my gods.
Oh yeah. I was shaking my head so much during this movie.
We both went into this kind of going, oh, okay, we need to do this. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not excited about it. And you know what? The morning that we got there, and right, because I got there a little bit earlier than you, and I was just kind of sitting down. I'm kind of doing my own thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to turn everything off. I'm gonna try to forget about everything that I know I'm probably not going to like about this movie, and I'm just going to try to just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I had to reset myself twice. Because I was like...
I was constantly resetting myself.
I reset myself before the movie, and then after the opening scene, I completely had to reset myself again, because it wasn't fair. It really wasn't fair. Yeah. I don't think it was fair. And we'll get into that with spoilers, but I was like, okay, I just okay, stop, rewind, play again. I'm just gonna black that out. Spoilers?
Yeah, spoilers. Let's do it.
Okay.
I want to talk about the actual story. Let's just start off with the story.
Okay. What story?
Exactly.
If you were to describe the story to me, if I had no idea, if you're like, hey, there's this. If I said, hey, what's this Justice League about? What's the story? Like, what goes on in this movie?
So there are these superheroes.
Okay, so it's a superhero movie. So what's it about? There's a group of superheroes. So obviously they're the save the world superheroes. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
there's a team of them.
Yeah, there's this. All right. All these superheroes.
I'm on board. All right,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, this sounds cool.
Yeah. All right. So Batman is he has these visions of this thing that's coming, and he doesn't know what, but he has to assemble some kind of team of these other superheroes to stop this threat that, again, he doesn't know what it is. But
so Batman's one of the superheroes.
He is, yeah.
Okay, and so he can tell the future. He has visions.
Apparently.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm on board.
Okay,
I'm on board.
Okay.
I get it.
So there are these things called mother boxes, which their power is that they can basically do they're just powerful.
What? Okay. Why are they called mother boxes?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. So there's boxes. Mother boxes. Okay.
Yeah. So there's this threat, and this threat, his name is Steppenwolf.
Is he German?
He's from another dimension or something.
Okay. All right. The Steppen dimension. Or wolf.
Something.
Okay.
They don't explain it.
All right. Gotcha.
But he's trying to get these mother boxes, because if he gets these mother boxes, he can...
Do they belong to his mom? Okay.
Look, I don't know.
I got you. Okay.
Look.
I'm not trying to make this hard on you.
No, it's already hard, though.
I know. The struggle is real.
The point of this whole thing is that this movie is just... Oh my god.
God awful.
The story is just non-existent. But the villain, Steppenwolf, while we're at it, Steppenwolf, what's funny is people like to, shit on Marvel villains because they're kind of one dimensional and they're just crazy for no reason and whatever. But so is this guy. He's just one of those villains again. I think DC has that problem as well. I don't think they have a really good villain. The only good villain in a DC movie of recent times in this universe, I think, was Zod. I think he was a good villain, and that was a good movie. I like that movie a lot.
Well, they didn't have to CGI Zod, which was nice.
Well, yeah, but
I don't understand the decision to completely CGI Steppenwolf. There wasn't anything about him.
That was something I wanted to
that demanded CGI.
Just put him in a suit.
Put him in a suit.
There was no reason, because when you have to create a face, it looks like a video game. When you don't map it to a real person's face, it just looks fake and it looks terrible. And he
looked good. He looked like a cool villain when he was by himself. If he was the only person in the frame. As soon as you added a live action character interacting with him, you're like going, all right, where's my controller?
Yeah, what video game is this?
What video game is this? Where's my controller? Who can I control?
Yeah.
Is this tagging?
Yeah, he was awful, and the decision to make him full CGI,
bad decision.
It's beyond me. I don't know. I don't know why. That was a very big misstep on DC's part. The CGI in this movie is all over the place, because this feels like an unfinished movie.
It looks like an unfinished movie.
Yeah. So I would have been okay with them pushing it back a couple months. With everything that had to go on behind the scenes, I would have been fine with a few extra months. Give it to me in March or something. Mm-hmm. Whatever. And the fact that this costs $300 million, I can't believe it looks as bad as it does. It's inexcusable to me.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful to all the other content creators in the media, because not only did you just throw together this lump of shit and sell it and push it down everybody's throat and completely just overspend on this money on this movie, but you also completely set back anybody else that wants to make content. Because now this is what people are going to think about superhero movies. This is an indicator for them that, okay, they're spending all this money to give me what?
Yeah.
A half-ass CGI movie with no plot, flatline characters that sometimes do, sometimes don't give us enough character or story arc to kind of get invested in them.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah, there's a million things wrong with this movie, but what's funny is that we actually were entertained by it, and we actually enjoyed it for what it was. The design of characters, like, let's just kind of go through them. Like, I thought all of them looked really good, except, and I had a little bit of a problem with Cyborg, because he is such a huge CGI character. It called for that. But even though he didn't look believable, that CGI didn't look very good anyway. It didn't look like he was really there. It looked like he was, He
looked like a cyborg. But what I don't understand is that the amount of detail that they had in his body was pretty ridiculous. But at the very end of the movie, you see his cyborg body,
like his classic comic book.
It's I don't know if it's evolving or he kind of gets a little bit more control over the cybernetics, but then it smooths out. It makes it was more believable. I'm like, why didn't you have that in the movie?
In the whole movie.
Instead of you have this over complicated, pixelated thing that you're going, you're killing me here. Because all I see is this bright, shiny cyborg.
He looks like some crumpled up foil, basically. Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing, is that I had a problem with his design until the very end, and that actually made me angry, because it's like, why not just do that?
Yeah.
Just give it to me now. Like, why did I have to wait for that?
But it's character progression. Whatever.
Anyway, I thought the Flash looked really good. I thought his suit was like really cool looking. Everyone, what?
I liked. Okay,
Let's go.
I like the Flash's suit. Okay, I get it. What I don't get, and and again, this is one of those things. I mean, I'm just nitpicking, but again, we don't get a whole lot of understanding of where these characters come from. But we get this introduction to the Flash because Ben Affleck, Batman, Batfleck, Bruce Wayne, he tracks him down to this abandoned warehouse thing, and he's got like this he's got his computer thing set up, and he's got his suit kind of hanging out there, and Batman's, Bruce Wayne's looking at it, he's like, oh yeah, so anti blah 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 material, and oh look, this is space shuttle material, and this and that, and yeah, where did he get it?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
get an anti-friction material because he's from Star Labs. Where do you get space shuttle grade
I don't.
metal and whatever? And I mean, he looked like another cyborg. He had a metal suit. When does the Flash have a robot, like a metal suit?
Well, it's not robotic.
I know it's not robotic, but it's like armor, and it's like, dude, you're in spandex. That's what you're in. You're in tights, and yeah, you can, you can evolve on that. You can get some leather and some padding and some kind of maybe some some sort of like soft armor in there. But where did this space grade anti heat absorbing metal get into your armor? That I couldn't connect with. I was like, I mean, he looked good, and the character was great, but I kind of thought about it for a minute, and I'm like,
Yeah, well,
it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, that maybe that's something they can explain in the actual Flash movie if we ever get one. But for me, like details like that, I'm kind of okay with. I'm kind of forgiving with because it's like he might have stolen it from a space shuttle because he's so fast. That's probably how it happened.
Good answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Good answer. Huh? Good answer.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I didn't think about it too much, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, he probably just stole it because no, I thought he was really good. Batman, I think.
Horrible.
And what's funny is, watching reviews, people kept saying, "Oh yeah, the Flash is great, Aquaman is great, Ben Affleck is still great. He's doing, he's still the best Batman." Blah blah blah. And I liked him in BVS. I liked him in Batman versus Superman.
I thought he did good in BVS.
Yeah, but watching this movie, I was like, am I watching the same movie that all these other people who said that Ben Affleck was amazing in? Because I'm not getting that at all.
He was dead. He was flat. He was painful to watch.
He was phoning it in. He didn't want to be there, and you could tell.
You could tell he didn't want to be there.
And with all the behind the scenes things with him, and the rumors of, is he going to be Batman anymore? Is he coming back? Is he leaving? Whatever. But all of that stuff is still, it is in my mind when I'm watching this, and you can't help but think about that stuff because it is very prominent. And the way that he's portraying that character, it's like, dude, just give me someone else. Just leave. Because if you don't want to be here,
just leave.
And, and I'm a huge fan of the Dark Knight trilogy. I know this is not that. I know it's a different characterization of Batman, but I just expect a little more, especially from an actor like Ben Affleck.
I expected more, but I couldn't get over the look, and I don't know if it's because Affleck and the way his body is, because I mean he's not a slim guy anymore, and he bulked up. For this movie, but
he bulked up for Batman versus Superman,
right? Yeah, and we got that whole training montage, and we got to see the bulking.
He doesn't look like the same. He
looks broader, and it really shows in this movie that he just looks so puffed up,
it kind of goes back and forth too.
And it doesn't even look like he can move in that suit.
Yeah, no.
He's just so like engorged, and it's like
it doesn't look believable.
It doesn't look believable, and it's like
for a Batman.
Yeah, man. Like, you know,
like he looks like
maybe slim fast it or something, or wear
a
girdle. I don't know what to say, but it was bad. It was really bad. Yeah.
Aquaman. I thought, first of all, the character design of Aquaman, you know, going away from the orange and green fish scales and the blonde hair, you know, having this long-haired surfer dude, you know, this guy that everyone already loves from Game of Thrones, this manly man, you know, kind of guy. I think that was the right decision from the get-go, from, you know, the first image that we saw, like, I think it was a couple of years ago. Like, it was a really cool design, and seeing it in action and seeing him in this movie, he was great. He was absolutely
I think
one of the highlights for me.
I think the character design, they nailed it. Yeah. I loved it.
And it fits this world perfectly.
It fits the world. It kind of fits the theme. But beyond that, I wanted more Aquaman. It's just, there wasn't really a whole lot in there with Aquaman. And I think we don't have any understanding of his powers. I mean, I'm sure if this was anywhere near a coastal area, we could kind of get some more kind of understanding of what encompasses his superpowers.
Yeah.
Basically, all we saw was a dude with superhuman strength and a pitchfork.
Absolutely.
And that's, we didn't get a whole lot out of it. And I think they way over exaggerated, you know, some of the scenes, especially when he's like riding. He pitchforks one of those bug dudes, rides him down through a building, and then surfs him out the front door.
Yeah, that was a little much.
Yeah, you know, I look at that and I'm going.
And that's why I also I think it's so funny when you have Batman in there, because pudgy little Ben Affleck over there, he needs this like crawler thing. He needs this tank.
He needs his gadgets.
But also he doesn't ever really do anything. Again, like Batman versus Superman, he didn't have a lot to do action wise. He had that one scene in the warehouse where he's fighting regular people, like regular guys.
Right.
But
that works for him.
That works for him, but I mean, Superman and Wonder Woman and Aquaman and literally everyone is so overpowered that it's just so jarring to me that he's even in the same league.
Oh, I see what you did there. That was painful. Oh, even look, the mic cringed on that one. It's just like,
he gave me a high five. He was like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But no, like, yeah, I had like, it's just like, Batman, what are you doing? Like, all these people are just they're just tumbling through everyone and whatever. Moving past that though. Again, Wonder Woman, she's great. I thought her introduction, that scene in the bank, it was completely dumb. I don't know what the motivation was for those. They said something about going back to the Dark Ages when it was just a bomb that she could just throw up and it'll be fine.
I didn't get it.
Even though they said they would like flatten blocks and blocks.
And that's so two things. Two things on that.
Okay.
2 things on that.
Let's go.
First, okay, if you're of the criminal mind to set off a bomb and then stand there and you know you're going to get blown up with it, then turn it on first and then say your dialogue. Why did you say your dialogue? Oh, everybody's gonna go back to square one and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
and then turn the key.
But also,
why don't you just turn the key and get it over with, and then just, why is there a countdown? If you know you're gonna blow yourself up.
Well, also, why is there a countdown? Why did you bring it to a bank anyway?
Yeah.
If you're not robbing the bank,
is it a special bank?
Yeah,
it's the Dark Ages bank. I think it's the Dark Ages bank, but we didn't get to see that because they never showed the door.
Well, it's just so dumb. It's a dumb. If you want to blow up, like, you're blowing up a bank, but how is that gonna? You're blowing up one bank.
You're blowing up one bank.
How is that gonna send anyone
in
to
a
the Dark
small
Ages?
Suitcase? But then you're touting the fact that it's going to blow up 4 city blocks, which you can't do. Pardon me, from a small suitcase.
Yeah.
No.
Like that whole thing, I was like, and I think that whole clip was released before, and we watched that clip
Yeah.
beforehand, and right from there, I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Now, did the fact that she scurried along the floor in front of all the hostages, deflecting the automatic fire with their bracers, did that save the scene for you?
I thought that was awesome. I thought like that her action was great in it.
Yeah.
Whether it was her lassoing someone or like kicking someone, over, protecting all those girls, like,
Her fight style is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
Different, and I love it.
It's awesome. But that scene in general was just it was dumb.
I can't. The only thing I can't with her fight style, I can't get over the bracer bang.
I think it looks cheesy.
It's like what is it? What does it do? You're just pushing people back.
Yeah, it's funny because like every time she does that, I kind of like I'm like.
It worked in Wonder Woman because she like charged herself with lightning and energy, and then she like bracer bang. That's the new. I copyright that bracer bang.
Bracer bang.
She bracer bangs and then all that energy.
Yeah.
But in this iteration, she's just going bing, and people get pushed a little bit, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but getting past that though.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some spoilers though. Like I don't know if we're already in spoilers.
Oh well, yeah, we're already way into spoilers.
Let's get into some real spoilers though.
Now,
so
do you have a list? Did you bring your list? I have a list.
I have a list.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to tick off my list.
And again, I want to say that I knew that it was a dumb movie going in. I wasn't expecting much, and so I actually had a good time with this movie. But it's one of those movies where when you think back on it, you think back on all the little things, it's like, that was kind of dumb. That was kind of pointless. That was kind of done really badly. That looked pretty bad. Again, it's one of those movies you can't think about, but when you do, it's awful.
Here's what I want, and any of you viewers listening out there, and hopefully, if this ever gets to production companies, this is a movie with a $300 million budget. Where did it go? Where did it go? It definitely, in anybody's opinion, didn't go to any kind of preview panel, any kind of polling panel of scenes and plot points and whether some of this works. And we'll start from the beginning, right? This opening scene of a kid's phone video of Superman, which is so disgustingly gross and CGI'd out. And the decision to make that your opening scene, that this is the first thing you're going to see. Maybe they're just maybe they're ripping the Band-Aid off. They're like, you're going to see it. Here it is. Get over it. But it was a scene that didn't do anything. It didn't have any purpose. But it immediately shows you how bad their CGI budget was.
They thought it had a purpose though. And I know why they put it in. Because in this movie, you have Batman, of all people, who wanted to kill Superman back last year.
He was all he was all into it.
Yeah,
he had to kill Superman.
Yeah, even if there's a 1% chance. Yeah, he has to die.
Less than 1% chance. Yeah. He had to do it.
But anyway,
now he's remorseful.
But now Superman was a beacon of hope, and we have to. No, he wasn't. He was absolute. The whole point of Batman versus Superman is the fact that people are scared of Superman and they don't know what he's going to do. He's an alien, and that's the whole point of Batman versus Superman. He's almost like the villain in Batman versus Superman. Mm-hmm. Superman is because they don't show you. In Man of Steel, you know who he is, and you know where he came from, and you know his backstory. But in Batman versus Superman, they're just like, no, like I gotta kill him, and I can't. That's a whole other thing. But
it's so much.
Nowhere in this movie, nowhere in Batman versus Superman was anyone like, oh yeah, like Superman is a beacon of hope, and whatever. No, that was not felt in that movie. At least for me, it wasn't apparent. So you saying that, you can say it as many times as you want in this movie, but I never felt like that was the case.
Right.
So, you know,
I mean, they bastardized and criminalized Superman in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah. So
and then they're trying to start off this next iteration of, this is how people feel. He was a beacon of hope, and here's
that's why
a
they
video of a child interviewing Batman and
Superman.
Superman, yeah,
yeah.
Sorry.
But like that's why they put that in, but it didn't do anything, and it actually made things worse. And then add on the CGI lip, the rubber lip, as I like to say.
It was
awful.
It was awful.
Then we have another opening scene. So Batman, he's chasing a bank robber or a robber of some kind. All of a sudden, a parademon comes out and he kind of tussles with it a little bit, which I thought was...
he baits the parademon because he like lassos, he like ties up the bank robber and like he's like hoisting him off the edge of the building. Yeah. He's like, oh, now it's the fear that attracts them. Okay, because he's Batman and he has visions and he knows that it's the parademons are attracted to fear. So that's what he's fishing for a parademon. That's what he was. He was fishing for, and I'm going, okay.
How did he know that?
He has visions.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
It's so plot hole.
But someone else mentioned this, and this is exactly my thoughts about the scene. Was it looked like a Universal, set. It looked completely fake.
It was so mocked up.
It was so bad. Like it didn't look like a real rooftop. It didn't look like a real city. It looked like you had a green screen in the back and you had a soundstage that looked like a rooftop. Mm-hmm. And it almost looked like a musical or something, like a chimney sweep.
Well, the disgusting part about the whole scene is that, he lures this parademon out. They tussle, they fly off and are tussling in the air. And of all the rooftops of New York, Gotham, right? Okay. They end up right back on the original rooftop with the other robber so that they could have some dialogue. Yeah.
And okay.
Sure.
And then after the parademon explodes and then he sees the 3 images of the boxes, the mother boxes, which I don't get it either.
Which there's no other parademons exploding and showing 3 boxes anywhere in the rest of the movie.
See, that was very contrived.
They needed the plot hint.
Very convenient, yeah. But I think the worst part of that scene was at the very end, where he just leaves the guy. He just leaves the robber.
Yeah.
I was like, wait. I was waiting for them to go back, or like right before that scene ended. I was like, oh, he's gonna like net him, or he's gonna like tie him up, or something.
Tie him up and string him off the side for the cops to pick up. He's like, nah, I got shit to do. Yeah, man. I got extra dimensional demons to fight, bro. Your petty robbery is beneath me.
But like, if you know Batman, like that's not how he wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that.
So that scene, I couldn't do it.
It's bad. It's bad.
So yeah, that was another shake my head kind of moment. One scene that I thought was really cool, and I actually liked how they did this, was when they were explaining how Steppenwolf had come one time before, and he had fought Amazonians and Atlanteans and all these other
the men. Yeah,
exactly.
They all banded together.
Yeah, I thought that scene was really cool looking. I thought it was a really great. I'm pretty sure that's a Zack Snyder scene that was made before he went off of it, but. I thought it looked great. I thought it was cool that, that's a time to put all the Easter eggs of all the other characters in the DC universe. So I don't know a whole lot about DC characters, but, we got Zeus, apparently. We also got, which I thought was a great addition and a great Easter egg, and I smiled like ear to ear when I saw, and I'm not even a huge fan of Green Lantern, but when I saw a Green Lantern, I was like, oh yes, because I had this kind of feeling in the back of my head that maybe they would hint at Green Lantern, or maybe in a post-credit scene. And
he didn't last very long.
Well, he didn't last very long. He died, and as
It
anyone,
wasn't a very good lantern.
I know, right? He got stabbed like immediately.
Maybe it was a green pocket light. Not really a lantern. It hadn't like progressed to lanternship. It was just kind of like, you're a headlamp
He was a lighter, yeah.
on an elastic band.
He was a match.
He was a match.
He was a little flame.
Green Zippo.
But with any, you okay?
Sorry. I'm gonna get a green Zippo.
But with any Green Lantern, of course, when they die, Green
The ring
Lantern
pops
ring
off.
pops off and goes and zips around and finds another Green Lantern, someone who's worthy, right?
Ryan Reynolds.
Exactly, right? And you know what? I was laughing because even though I love that part, when it goes and zips off, all I could think of was, I hope they do something like this in Deadpool 2. Because you know how Ryan Reynolds likes to make fun of himself.
Oh yeah.
And likes to make fun of the Green Lantern and stuff. Because that movie was terrible back a few years ago. I just imagined, like, in Deadpool, like, he's talking to the camera, like, fourth wall, breaking. And then all of a sudden, this green ring just comes and, like, hits him
bonks him on the head.
And he's like, what the
He's
fuck?
like, what the hell? Hey, free Cracker Jack prize.
Exactly. But that scene, like, just popped up into my head, and I just started laughing. But no, all jokes aside, though, I thought that was a cool scene and a cool addition, and a little preview into what's gonna happen. If they make any more movies, because who knows at this point? I mean, with the state of the DCEU, I would like a new Green Lantern movie, and I would like to see that, especially with him joining up with the Justice League. I think that would be really cool. So I'm glad they put that in.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. In that scene, when Steppenwolf leaves, they board these ships, right? They board spaceships and they fly off. Or does he use that?
I think he used
weird tunnel,
those boom tubes. Yeah,
the boom
That's what they're
tubes.
called, yeah.
Boom. Okay.
I think they do that.
I couldn't remember if they just floated off or not.
I'm probably wrong.
So anyway, so we get a backstory on these mother boxes.
But do we really?
Well, I mean, we get a glimmer of Steppenwolf's story, and he wants to conquer and turn the world into whatever the mother boxes can turn into, which we still don't understand. But anyway, so we have Steppenwolf. He was defeated and vanquished, and then we have these mother boxes, which got separated to the Atlanteans, the Amazonians, and then the dudes in the forest. So then he boom tubes to the Amazonian invisible, undetectable island at the exact time that they're all checking to see that this thing is now activating, right?
Well, actually, no. They explained that it's because
I mean, it's been twitching, and they're going.
So that's why they've
is it any change in the twitching,
Yeah.
and then it pops open, and then we get into this whole scene with the queen of the Amazonians, and he shows up, and they start fighting, and he's just wrecking everyone. So she She totally does the whole rugby move and grabs the box, and she starts running, and all of her minions are like knocking down these wooden pylons to drop these giant blocks of stone, and they're squishing themselves. They're sacrificing themselves, and the queen's running. She's like, "Yeah, knock them down because we need to like trap them in there." And she runs out, and all her Amazonians get squished and sacrifice themselves, and all he does is just cut himself out. And then we've got a horse chase through the plains of Amazonian Invisible Island, and it's fun and it's fantastic. And then he catches up with them. The box goes flying. Her friend that she was on a horse with gets hurt. And with all the other death and sacrifice and the squished Amazonians trying to get her out of the tomb, and the box is over there by itself, she goes, "Yeah, fuck the box. My friend's trapped by a horse, and I need to save my friend, and he can have the box."
Yeah, she actually gave it up at that point.
Yeah, she's like, "Yeah, you can have it."
She saw that Steppenwolf was right there at the box and was like, you know what? I could go for it. I could fight him for it, but I'm probably gonna die.
I'm gonna die.
So I'm just gonna.
I'm more important than all the people that sacrificed
Yes.
myself to have my horse race. Before
I kind of felt
I
that,
just handed it.
I
over
was
to
like,
him.
wait, where's that fight scene?
Yeah,
I think it would have meant a lot if she fought, you know, and there was a little bit of a, you know, a tussle between them that lasted like maybe a minute or whatever.
should have been.
Yeah, and then she dies, and you know that's a sacrifice, and that actually means something. You would actually feel something because you know of all of that history with you know Wonder Woman coming off of that.
That was a great opportunity for a fight scene and an emotional and a captivating moment, and they were just like, "Nah,
Yeah,
my friend's trapped by the horse. I'm gonna save my friend."
yeah. I thought that was the wrong decision.
That was so bad.
Yeah,
It was horrible. But you know, but here's the thing, right? I gave that scene more. Yeah, we're going long, bro. I gave that scene more respect because like they're all there. They're all like, yeah, man, this thing's about to happen. We don't know what's going on. And now we go to Atlantis, where the other box is. I wouldn't say hidden because it's displayed for everyone to see. It's not in some kind of locked vault. It's just floating on a pillar in the middle of Atlantis, whatever. And there's like a couple people just kind of swimming around it going, hey, this guy might show up.
yeah. It wasn't. I mean,
There was like,
for both of the places.
what was the point of that scene? You could have made it better.
Yeah.
I mean, you had an underwater scene and
Well,
you
they
had
just had
this
to get
fight
on with the
between
movie.
Aquaman and,
They could-
and Steppenwolf, and it was like,
They had to get on with the movie, though. They couldn't just. It had to be, and the fact that it was so easy for Steppenwolf to just kind of come in and grab it was like, okay, what's the point of even protecting it?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, what I really want to talk about though is the return of a very special character, Superman. They teased us and teased us and teased us.
yeah, they teased and teased.
Right from the end of Batman versus Superman, which is, I thought that was a dumb thing to do anyway because you kill Superman in the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
He sacrifices himself. It's supposed to be this big thing, even though no one cares because no one likes the Superman anyway. All right, whatever. He sacrifices himself. You know, Lois Lane is sad. His mom's sad. They have 2 funerals. Apparently, everyone else is sad. They have a police. Military.
Yeah, everyone in the world is mortified that now our alien protector that we weren't comfortable with and we were scared of is now dead, and we might have to do things for ourselves.
Yeah, now we're all grieving and
again.
Whatever. Okay, but at the very end of that movie, you see the dirt rise.
It floats a little bit,
and it
was a post-mortem super fart. That's what it was. That's what I blame it on. Because that's the only way I can think of it. It was a little, you know, gas collecting in the dead body of the Kryptonian that just kind of seeped through the coffin. Because any other way to explain it, they just screwed themselves in this adaptation.
If you went and said, well, why is the dirt rising?
Well, you know what? Let's get into why they felt necessary to bring Superman back. Because the team has a little pre-scuffle with Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Right? They track him down and they find him in the underground access tunnels to a Gotham island. Whatever.
Gotham Harbor.
Yeah, Gotham Harbor, and they're fighting, and he's just manhandling all of them.
Yeah.
And then, for some reason, the cyborg dude decides to fire a very large and probably explosive
absolutely
missile,
explosive.
you know,
the whole point of it is that it's explosive.
It's explosive, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, explosive.
He decides to fire
in
it.
a closed, confined space underneath Gotham Harbor. Cool.
No.
Which I thought Steppenwolf was like, yeah, man, thank you. Because he just snatches it out of the air and goes, yeah, suck on water. Boom.
Yeah. But also, what's the point? I mean,
what
was going to happen? You're just going to blow everyone up.
Yeah, you're just going to blow everyone up and everybody can drown. But
that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, Aquaman that showed up and, you know, that was the only kind of second power that he had. He could kind of like block a little water a little bit.
Yeah, and they had to kind of do that. But
I mean, that takes us to the point where they're like, yeah, we need the man back.
Yeah.
You know, Affleck is so remorseful because the alien from outer space, of the all powerful alien from outer space, which he despised and hated and loathed, he's come to realize is the beacon of hope and is actually more human than
Oh
himself
my God. When he said,
because he had a job
when he said that,
and he
that
fell
pissed
in
me off.
love and
That
he
pissed
was
me
going to
off.
get married and he had a family, and I think it was the farm because he grew up on a farm.
No, you know
he
what?
had roots.
No, it was Martha. Don't you remember? It was Martha.
It was Martha. It was Martha that
When he said that line, when he said, "Yeah, he's more human than me," I couldn't help but think how you were just trying to kill him because even if there's a 1% chance that he can destroy the world, we have to take him out. It doesn't make any sense. Just because he has his mom has the same name as your mom, like that's what triggered you to make that connection that he's human.
triggered. Triggered's the right. It's the right word
Fucking
there.
dumb, dude.
Yeah, it's horrible.
But okay, so moving past that.
So we're like, we
I
need Superman. So we need Superman, right?
And I knew, and everyone knew that Superman was coming back. Everyone knew. If you're a fan of DC comic book movies, if you saw Batman versus Superman, even if you saw any trailers, like you knew that Superman was coming back. And watching some speculation and stuff like that, you know, I figured something about, you know, some regeneration chamber or whatever would bring him back, whatever, if it's the codex or whatever that they explained in Man of Steel, that he didn't actually die, but he was so close to death that everyone thought he was, that eventually he would just, you know, rejuvenate or whatever.
Because he contains the genetic code for the entire Kryptonian race.
So I thought it would be something like that, where he just kind of bursts out of his grave and goes off and blah blah blah. But no, they actually have to dig him up, which how did you feel during that scene? Because I felt very uncomfortable. I felt like it was the weirdest thing.
Well, the funny thing is they actually, because the Flash and the Cyborg are digging up and they're like, does this feel weird? He's like, yeah. Okay.
Like usually that would work, you know, and it's, you know, it's called hanging a lantern, where you point at something that's kind of it's weird or it's out of place or something. You kind of point it out and it reassures the audience that, okay, I'm not the only one. Like they're addressing how weird this is.
Yeah.
But even though they said that, it's still like, yeah, it is weird. Why are you doing it? It didn't fix it for me.
So they, you know, they dig him up. They take him back to is it Star Labs that the ship is at, or a portion of Star Labs that the original Kryptonian ship, scout ship or whatever it's called, with the broken chamber,
with the liquid or whatever. They bring him back.
So they figured they need to put him in the chamber, but they need the other box. So lo and behold, the third box that was given to the guys in the woods was dug up by somebody at some time, and then it ended up. So this is very fast that they got through, but it ends up, you know, being the box that made the cyborg.
Yeah, exactly.
So he has the box. So he's like, hey man, I got this box, and so we can use the box with the chamber and like res Superman.
Yeah.
So they get there. And the cyborg's like, hey man, dude, I got the key, right? Because I'm a cyborg. Boom, I got the key. And then they're like, hey man, the battery's dead. We need to jumpstart it.
Yeah.
And the Flash is like, yeah, I got that. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that whole scene...
I just rub my hands together real quick.
Yeah. You know, that was...
Defibrillate Superman. So bad. Oh.
The most unoriginal and the most, like, uncreative way of doing it, right? I didn't get why they went that route. I don't understand why they did that.
But it leads up to, like, two of the best scenes in the movie.
I would say so, yeah.
So they jumpstart Superman, right? And because, you know, like, he just gets basically blasted with energy. So he pops through the roof of the ship and kind of, like, ends up, right, perfectly mortars himself to the site of his broken Superman statue.
Well, yeah, he kind of flies over
Couple
there.
blink,
Yeah.
blink, blink. You know,
Yeah.
cool. But at the same time, the mother box, the last mother box, because at this point the other two have already been taken by Steppenwolf. The last mother box, the most important piece of the end of our world, also pops through the roof
Yeah.
and hits a car. But that's not important to the superheroes because their buddy's back. The hope is back.
Yeah.
The more human the human alien is back. He's back. Oh my god. We love him so much. But he doesn't know who the fuck anybody is.
Yeah. I love the fact that Superman, he doesn't know who anyone is. He doesn't know what his powers are doing. He's having those X-ray visions and he can't really control it. And he's just going crazy. And then they just start fighting. I don't know exactly how it started, but
well, I mean, the cyborg's defensive mechanism reads Superman's confusion as a threat, and then he fires. Right?
Yeah.
He shoots one off at Superman, and Superman's like, "Okay, let's go, bro." You know, which is some of the funnest tumbles, especially when he just headbutts Wonder Woman.
That was
into
great
the pavement.
I saw you. Yeah,
I giggled. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I loved Man of Steel. I love Henry Cavill as Superman, and I just love how powerful he is, and he just manhandles just everyone. And Batman just didn't even come close. He was like, he didn't want, and they even mentioned like, you don't want to be the first person he sees when he wakes up.
I'm the one that killed him. I'm just gonna I'm gonna hang out over here.
Yeah,
but during all that, no one's on box duty. No one's on mother box duty. And I love how Steppenwolf was just like, "Yo, man, take my box."
He just strolls up.
He just plops down, grabs it, and just laughs.
Yeah, he's like,
turns around, gets a cappuccino. He's like, "Yeah, man, give me a half non-fat latte with cream and sugar." Cool, 2 pumps, thank you. And then he boom tubes away, and they're like,
it's so nonchalant and it's so effortless.
And they're all like, "Whoops." It's like just whoops.
Yeah, Aquaman and Wonder Woman, who their whole civilizations have measures to protect their mother boxes, right? Yeah, here Superman is more important. Controlling him is more important than protect. Just someone find that and just bring it with you. But they all just go whatever. But one thing that I really loved about that scene was the Flash, his interaction with Superman. He's like, "Oh, they're all getting their ass kicked. I'm gonna come in and whatever."
Oh yeah, I'm gonna stealth this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in behind this guy.
Yeah, he's coming around, and then he's looking at Superman.
He was like, "I'm gonna ninja this dude."
And Superman is holding the other 2 or 3 off, and I love how his eyes
just move.
His eyes just move, and he's following the Flash, and he's looking at him, and he's running towards him, and he's like, "Oh shit.
He sees me."
I thought that was
that was a great scene.
It was so great. Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things,
That's what Ezra Miller brought. I mean, those are some of the best scenes where he just provides that little bit of lightheartedness to it.
I think that really
is the only thing that kind of
it really
made
worked,
some of them tolerable.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, that was one of the bright moments of this shit pile of a movie. But I mean, I feel like I could go on and on and on about this. I'm over it. I'm curious to see, what the original script was like, what Zack Snyder's vision was originally. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about the deleted scenes and what were in the trailers that didn't make it to the movie. And I just can't help but wonder what this movie would have been. Would it have been better, or would it have been worse?
How could you have been worse?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, you can. I mean, no. Let me retract that. You could definitely go worse.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many issues with this thing, and I mean, we could go on for another hour. I thought one of the most kind of gross things, and here's your Transformer movies moment, is the blatant Mercedes-Benz product placement.
Well, they gotta pay
right?
they gotta pay for this movie somehow.
I get that, but how about a little bit of subtlety?
There's no subtlety now.
We're just gonna blatantly put this. I don't even know what it was. Some kind of concept car.
Oh, of course.
That of course because Ben Affleck's rich, or Batman is rich, Bruce Wayne is rich.
I
was disgusted.
Rich,
I was like, when they did that, I was like.
But every movie has that now. You can't help it.
But I mean, just let him drink a Bud Light with the perfect label as he's sitting in the Mercedes drinking a Bud Light, and maybe he looks at a Rolex, and then he like adjusts his Ray-Ban. I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it. Like, don't half-ass it. Just go for it, man. Put it all in one scene, man. Just get your.
Well, you would hate that even more.
Just
I don't know why you're saying that. You would hate it.
I already hate it. I mean, just make it grossly hated.
Just go all out. No. Oh man.
Yeah, but
I mean the final fight sequence when Superman comes, I did like the fact at the very end where he came in and he saved the day. Without Superman, the world would be gone.
Yeah, I get it. He's Superman. But the interesting thing is he completely trivialized the entire movie at that point. He just like showed up and just.
Well, it just shows.
He was just like, okay, so where's the trash I need to take out? Like, is this it? Does this go in the recycle bin or the regular bin? And I get it. I mean, he's Superman. But here's the thing, right? All of the animated series of the Justice League and all of these iterations that they put out, there's a great balance of this team working together, and you don't see Superman just like showing up and like trivializing everything. They write it and they meld it together in such a way that it's like at this point it's like, why would Superman even hang out with these people? Just for comic relief? Like, yeah man, I bring them along because they're cool. I mean, he's got a cool car, and she's hot. And Aquaman is, you get the lasso on him and he's funny.
That was a great scene, by the way.
It was a fantastic scene.
Hilarious.
That was like his best scene. And then we got Zippy Dude who he gets takeout.
Yeah.
He gets the best hot pizza ever. But other than that, it's like that's these are my boys. This is my crew.
Yeah, I mean, one other thing is that like they make it a point in Batman versus Superman where not only did Superman die, but Clark Kent died. It says it in the paper, like Clark Kent died.
Yeah.
So at the very end, when he's in his trench coat and he rips it off and he's Superman and he flies off, what is he doing? Is he Clark Kent again? How are you going to explain that Clark Kent died and then you had a funeral for Clark Kent?
Yeah. He's part 2. He faked his death.
So, yeah, how are they going to explain that Clark Kent is back? I mean,
they'll figure it out. They'll bastardize it, just like they had the floating soil on his coffin at the end of the first movie, and it had no purpose in the second movie.
It's times like these, it's movies like these where I wish I could just be a general audience member and not care about superhero movies and comic book movies. And
you can just show up and kind of enjoy.
Just show up, enjoy it, and then just leave and not give it a second thought. But this movie just has me thinking about all the dumb little things, whether it's the family in the middle of that town that they kept cutting back to maybe 5 or 6 times that had no point to the story.
The civilians.
Yeah.
The only civilians shown in a town, granted, swarming with fear bugs that can't get through a rickety door.
I can understand. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand that choice. Out of all the things you could have shown me in this 2 hours, why are you going back to this family? Just show it at the very end when they're like, hey, there's civilians out there. Go save them. Then you can still have that moment with the Flash and Superman where Superman lifts that whole building and he's pushing the truck. You can still have that, but we don't care about these characters. It doesn't matter how many times you cut back to them. I don't care about this family.
Yeah.
So that was a dumb choice as well.
The whole Act 3 of the movie is just disgusting. But
And the very end, I gotta say, at the very end, with Lois Lane's little inspirational speech about whatever, about being a hero, and I even said to you, as soon as it ended, like, that was a really weird way to end. I didn't feel like that was a satisfying ending. I think maybe for a few characters like Cyborg or the Flash, you got some endings and you got some like little nice...
I guarantee you that there's other endings, but they cut it and bastardized it down to the time mark that they were looking for because they knew that they needed to get more showings per day out of this movie.
Because
as disgusting and gross as it is and badly put together as it is, that's what they had to do.
Yeah. This movie's not going to make a lot of money.
Which isn't going to help them regardless.
They try to do as much as they could to save this movie. And ultimately it falls short on every single level.
Yeah.
But you know what? On to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. This makes me look so much into the Black Panther. Like I'm gonna be relieved when I watch the Black Panther.
I want to see. I'm gonna go back and see Thor Ragnarok because that is a good superhero movie, and you can't help but compare Marvel versus DC. You just can't help it.
Yeah.
But there's no question.
Is there a 3 strikes you're out rule here? I mean, should there be a 3 strikes you're out? I mean, I think moviegoers should like pull in and be like, yeah, man, just stop.
Well, the thing is, this is a loss. This is definitely going to be a loss for Warner Brothers, for DC, because $96 million for a $300 million movie. I mean, they're barely going to make this. I mean, I don't know what the international numbers are.
Oh, they'll do good international.
Yeah, they'll do well internationally.
The foreign sales will be phenomenal.
But that's not enough for DC and Warner Brothers. They need it to do well domestically. Mm-hmm. Actually, what's funny is leading up to this, I had heard this quote from, and they didn't say the name, but it was a guy from Warner Brothers and DC. Someone kind of asked him about, how Justice League is going to do compared to Thor, right? And he said, if a Marvel B-list character like Thor can do better than the A-team at DC, there's a huge problem. And
that's a good point of view.
Yeah. And as we saw, Thor crushed it and is continuing to crush it. And Justice League is they're dwindling. They're dwindling in the rear view. And they're going to be out of sight real soon. I mean, at least that's what it seems like. So we'll see what happens. I don't think they'll... Do you think there's going to be another Justice League movie?
Of course.
Do you think Ben Affleck is coming back?
I hope not. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't have any interest in being there. And you can plainly and clearly see it. He even said that he wanted a cool segue out. Yeah. But
he's on his way out.
For me, I lose massive respect for Ben Affleck. Because if you're gonna sign on for a superhero role, then sign on, man. Get on with it. Make it the best you can be. And obviously, he was just like, yeah, I'm not, whatever. He was completely... Where's the door? Please show me where the door is.
Well, he was completely on board for BVS, but after he realized and saw how, critically and commercially how it did, it was not up to standards. It wasn't what he signed up for. But also, look at the studio you're working with, and look at the... Zack Snyder and read the script. Like, you can't just expect that, oh, I'm going to be Batman. It's going to be great. I don't know what, got him on board, but it's very apparent that he doesn't want to be there anymore. No. It's very apparent that he just wants out now. Yeah. And I think that's, whatever. I mean, I get that because, he's an actor and he's trying to make a name for himself and he has his reputation and he doesn't want this to be tarnishing that. But then again...
Too late.
Too late,
man. But just, I think, what you said earlier this morning. Hopefully it's not just dropped, and then we have whatever coming up. Hopefully we can do a handoff. We can do either if it's Batman to Nightwing or however they do it.
Yeah,
do it gracefully.
And, I mean,
because
if you're gonna come back, and this is how I would like.
How many Batmans have we had?
So far, know. I mean,
we've had Keaton, Clooney,
Christian Bale,
of
course, Ben Affleck.
We've had I'm missing
what's his name? Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Anyways, we've had a lot. Yeah, we've had a lot. And now we're gonna get another one. In one way or another. It sucks. Anyways, bad movie. Entertaining. Lots of problems with it. Warner Brothers. I mean, you know what? All of you production companies, there's a better, more creative, imaginative way to show chaos and overloading power and a destructive force than a bubble and tentacles. Stop with the tentacles. What is this? Stop with the tentacles.
Didn't you love how everything bloomed at the end?
I don't get it.
Did you like that? The little avatar Pandora flowers?
Oh yeah, that was fun. The flowers and on the tentacles, yeah.
Yeah, didn't you like that?
I told you about this because at the end, like the civilians that got saved, the little girl, she walks up to the blooming tentacle in the ground, and this it's definitely not an earth flower. It's some alien flower, like opens up and blooms in front of her, and all I thought of was, God, I hope that thing just grabs her face. I would have been like, that's okay, cool, that's great. I mean, that's a Deadpool 2 movie extra thing.
That's like an edit.
That's an edit, right? That would have been fantastic. But I can't stress it enough. There's more creative ways.
Yeah.
Pull your movie, pre-screen it to people that have actual opinions, because
this is a movie made by committee by a bunch of people in a boardroom. This isn't Kevin Feige, who is a massive comic book fan, and these aren't people who care about comics who are making these movies. These are people who know nothing about comics, nothing about these characters or this world, and they're trying to make a movie. And this is what you get.
But if you're on a committee that makes or breaks what goes in a movie, then you should have some movie experience. And comic book movie or not, anybody can watch this and go, yeah, this is
this
garbage.
Story sucks. Yeah,
this is garbage. Where is it? Anyways,
they're more interested in the money. They're not.
Yeah,
they don't care about.
I hope that the tears that fall on their checkbooks blur the lines enough for them to see what is actual quality.
Yeah, who knows? But
who knows?
I still have faith in Aquaman. I still have faith in Wonder Woman 2. The same director is coming back from Wonder Woman. Is coming back for Wonder Woman 2. I think those are going to be pretty good movies. I don't know. I don't even think they will do a Cyborg movie. I don't really care.
I don't think there's enough interest. They didn't show us enough. I mean, they just threw him in there, and he was in a hoodie for most of it.
I think they did well as a team movie. I thought people, their chemistry was good, and I did enjoy them kind of going back and forth, with each other. But out of everything, I think if you can do it right, give me another Justice League movie with everyone, throw in Green Lantern, and just do a simple but good story. Really show us, what all these characters are about. Show us the abilities and kind of go crazy with it, but have a good story.
And we're gonna have the Justice League versus the Criminal League,
the Legion of Doom, or
the Legion of
what was it?
Is it the Legion of Doom?
They call it the Legion of Doom. Or
so we're gonna have Lex Luthor and Deathstroke
or the Injustice League.
The Injustice League, yeah. So yep, fun. Can't wait. Lex Luthor.
Yeah. So post credit scenes.
More fun stuff.
So post credit scenes. There's two. Yeah, I mean, I've thrown up enough thinking about Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, so I have no interest in him whatsoever. If he's in a movie, if he's in the next Justice League movie as like the main character or the main villain, I'm done. I'm gone from that movie. You won't find me in a seat. He's that bad to me. He's that like cringeworthy to me that I can't watch a movie with that character in it.
Even if they just like the previews look like amazing, like just phenomenal, amazing, and you're like Deathstroke. Because I know so many people are like, oh, Deathstroke, oh, Deathstroke, oh, Deathstroke.
I thought he looked great until he took off his helmet.
Yeah.
I thought
Why'd you do that?
The blonde or the gray, white hair or whatever. Like, just leave the mask on.
Leave it on.
Because now he just looks like It
looks like a dude in a suit.
He looks like a dude in a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
In a bad Halloween costume. And then Lex Luthor, he goes from this new age kind of businessman, I'm just wearing t-shirts and whatever, and now he's wearing this, the full-on Lex Luthor suit on a yacht. Where did that come from as well? Like, you just
obviously,
changed your whole style.
Obviously,
in jail?
when he was incarcerated, they didn't seize all of his assets. They just kind of put everything in limbo. So because he'd have a yacht available easily. It's just bad.
It's very bad.
This is bad. Anyways, woohoo! Look at the time.
Adam West, by the way. Adam West was the 1966 Batman.
There we go.
So you got Adam West, Michael Keaton, George Clooney, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck. Am I missing one?
Yeah, the Saint.
What's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm drunk.
Val Kilmer.
Okay, there we go.
Val Kilmer.
There we go. So we got 6, I believe. That's 6. I just had to bring that in. I couldn't leave Adam West hanging in the window. Okay, well that's basically it. I'm just done. This has been too long.
And I could
this
easily
isn't even
go.
This isn't even
another 45 an hour complaining about everything that's wrong with this movie. I think I've expended all the energy I want to expend on this. Horrible.
I'm trying to go to bed
movie.
right now. Justice League has taken enough from me. It's not going to take my sleep too.
No.
But still, all of that said, it's still funny to me that I walked out of there not impressed, but entertained.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with this movie. It's like, will I see it again? I actually don't know. If they come out with that ultimate cut or that, extended edition, if they release, those deleted scenes, I'm curious to see what those are. I'll probably just see the deleted scenes and not see it included in the whole movie. I don't want to sit through 3 hours of this. Or maybe I will and then just fast forward all the dumb parts.
Okay,
just go to all the Flash scenes and all the Aquaman scenes. Every time Steppenwolf comes, I'll just fast forward it. But yeah, whatever. I mean, there's another one, DC. Congrats.
Yeah, good job on just horribly disappointing people. I mean, you have phenomenal content that you can use.
They could be.
You have unlimited storyline that you can use.
Like, I don't know why they intend.
Why Steppenwolf?
I don't know why they intend on because it's the introduction to Darkseid, which is Steppenwolf's. They changed it. It's Steppenwolf's uncle apparently in this thing.
Who got a single mention in this movie?
Yeah, they name dropped him.
Yeah,
and that's it. But you know what? Everyone's trying to be Marvel. Everyone's trying to be this cinematic universe. It's just not working for them, and I think they need to realize that. I think if they want to continue, just do solo movies. Don't have them connect anymore because you're already fucking that up. You're already ruining it.
Well, I mean, we've got a Suicide Squad 2 coming out,
which I don't understand. It made a lot of money, but that movie is horrible to me. I think it's a bad movie.
honestly, I could watch a solo Harley Quinn movie. I could do that. That would be fantastic.
Like a Joker Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah,
I'd be interested
think,
in that.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
The rest of them
I'd
couldn't
agree.
care about.
Yeah.
Really couldn't care. Will Smith's, character was horrible. The boomerang guy, crocodile dude.
You know what? That whole movie is very very forgettable for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even tell you what happened in that.
That's going to be a whole tangent. Anyways.
Anyway.
All right, so that's done. It's checked off the list. Ugh, It was painful.
Yeah.
It was horribly painful.
Oh man.
I can't wait for Coco. Coco's coming out, and Coco's looks like a fun movie.
Oh, it looks like
a happy movie, because I need a happy movie.
I need a happy movie. I need a colorful movie.
Yeah.
I need a movie with actual emotion and actual story in it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna do Coco
And some quality CGI.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Some quality CGI.
Maybe Steppenwolf will show up.
Oh man.
Anyway, guys, that's our thoughts on Justice League. Tell us what you guys think.
Leave a review. Leave a thumbs up, a thumbs down. We want to hear from you. Give us your comments.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. So yeah, you guys can email us at postproductionpod@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. Tell us how you feel about this movie. Are we completely wrong? We want to hear that. So
we're not wrong.
Yeah, no,
we're not wrong. I'm sorry.
But no, we're not wrong.
I'd love to argue it.
But
I would love to argue
wrong.
it. Yeah, tell us that we're wrong. But
because we're not.
Yeah, we're not wrong. We're not wrong.
We're
not wrong that it's an entertaining movie. We're not wrong that it's a fun movie.
And we're also not wrong that
it's a dumb movie. That it's a horribly put together movie. So challenge flag.
But really, that's been it. This weekend is Thanksgiving. We'll figure out something to do. I think Coco does come out this weekend.
I think Coco comes out this weekend. I think we have some contenders for an old school movie to look into.
Yeah, it's about that time to go back. But back in time.
I think we are. It's going to be tough because we're going to be in food coma with Turkey Day coming on. So
that'll be fun. Though.
I'll be playing some more Battlefront 2, which is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, and I got into it. I don't know how far I am in the story mode, but I'm loving it absolutely. And we'll talk about it, I think, a little more when I get done.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about that. So stay tuned for that.
This wraps up episode 7. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. As always,
Adam, Mr. Drew, Adam, have a great day.
We're just rambling at this point.